We putting work, turning nothing into something. They feelings hurt, we turning nothing into something. Give a fuck if they don't like me, cause all this bread I count excites me. Turning nothing to something, nothing into something, turning nothing into something.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What is going on, everybody? What is going on? And I know you probably didn't expect to hear from me today, but how could you not hear from me, man? I've been wanting to talk to you guys yesterday, but we just couldn't get to it because we heard from our owner, and we've talked a lot this all season about what this ownership is trying to do and what this ownership mentality is, and are they invested into this team as we thought they were? Are they being, is their attention somewhere else now? Is it a casino that they care more about? That they care more about developing the grounds and all of that stuff? And for me, as up and down, as pessimistic as I was about the off season and what the plans were for 2026, it was always about David Stearns and what he was going to want to do and how far he was going to want to do. I never wavered in my belief in the ownership. And whenever anyone brought up any of that nonsense about casinos and all of this stuff, I didn't really buy into it. I didn't really want to hear it because I'm like, no, I just don't see that. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like he's letting his baseball guy do the job that he hired him to do. You know what I'm saying? And it was uncomfortable or whatever the case may be. But I thought it was the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, did it mean that we were going to agree with everything that David Stearns was doing? No. You know what I'm saying? And we saw that as at first, like I said, I read things wrong. I felt like, okay, Stearns is looking a little bit ahead. He doesn't feel like he can compete in 2026. And I know we can debate whether this team is going to be competitive or not and how competitive it will be. I know there's still plenty of people that are skeptical. There are people that listened to David Stearns yesterday and still look skeptical, still don't believe, or still are not buying into what he's saying. And I'm not saying you have to buy into what he's saying, but one thing I've always appreciated since he bought the team is the dude is honest. He's very candid. You know what I'm saying? Now, you guys know if you follow on Blunt Thoughts, his tweets, his posts, whatever you want to call it on X, those I don't appreciate too much. But when he sits down and he does the one-on-one with Howie Rose that we talked about on Sunday night, and then he follows that up with a little scrum, a media scrum in the dugout, the little Q&A, those I appreciate because I feel like he's open. Again, I feel like he's candid, he's honest, and I felt like yesterday, it was yesterday, right? I felt like yesterday, um, a lot of the things that I was talking about, that I've talked about, and that I felt he kind of reaffirmed, right? And excuse me, he reaffirmed his desire to win, where some people have been questioning that, right? Again, like I said, some people have been saying that it's more about the casino and everything else that's going on around the area than it is about the New York Mets. And that the Mets were just what do you call it? That was just part of the main objective. You know what I'm saying? And now that they've gotten there, okay, we're gonna put the Mets aside. But that's not the case. As we heard him yesterday talk about his desire to win and how bad he wants to win. I really, really want to win, he said. And I don't know if we have that clip. Is that the clip that I sent you, Quays? I'm not even sure if that's the first clip that I sent you. Yeah, I don't even think I sent you that at all. If you could find when he talks about really wanting to win, and it may be in one of the clips that we're gonna show anyways. But when I heard that, no, and it is actually, but it's not. It's part of something else. It is now that I think about it. But he said a few things that just gave me even more excitement than the excitement I was already feeling. And again, the natural excitement of spring training kicking off and knowing that hopefully soon the cold is going away. And today we had nice weather here in New York City. If you're in New York, I hope you enjoyed it. But he also, I felt like, what do you call it? I'm sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Getting a little distracted here. Um, but another thing that stood out to me was he talked about the off season and the way that it got started and losing out on the guys that we lost out on. And if you listen to him speak, he felt the same way that we felt. He felt the same way that we felt. He talked about building relationships with these guys. And then once they're gone and we're not replacing them, and him getting a little antsy, a little nervous, but following the lead of his baseball guy. I think we have that quote. How about we listen to him? I think that's the first quote I sent you, Quays. Let's bring that one up real quick. When he talked about how the offseason got started and his feelings. And this is where we know that some people want to say, hey, he's not the fan. He's not the Met fan. It's his wife. It's his wife's family. Well, right here, he sure as hell sounds like one of us. Go ahead, play it.
As an owner who's taken pride in building a family atmosphere here, how difficult was it emotionally to let those players that you mentioned have been here since the beginning for you? And how do you balance the business from the personal?
Listen, I mean, yeah, I mean, you develop these relationships, and I felt what the fans felt, right? I mean, and the worst part was these players left, and yet we hadn't signed or figured out who was going to fill those positions. And I describe it as even I was feeling anxiety, right? Like, how are we going to get there? But David kept cautioning me.
Right. How are we going to get there? Pause it real quick.
That,
Pause it real quick. Why were we all asking that? Were we all asking that? How the hell are we going to be a competitive team in 2026 and we're just going to let these guys walk away and we're not going to replace them? And then the first big move, if you want to, that we make was a Polanco. You know what I'm saying? And we're like, holy crap, what is this? To follow up the trade of Brandon Nimmo and Pete Alonso walking.
And telling me that, stay patient. That it's a long off season. I think, the off season doesn't end December. It ends, even past, today, right? I mean, potentially, right, for teams. And we stayed patient and disciplined, and I feel really good about what we accomplished.
Interesting, right? That he said that the offseason goes into even today for some teams possibly. And the Mets today, being yesterday, signed Mike Talkman to add depth to right field, and we'll get into that later if need be. Uh-oh, what's going on here? So everybody's having a hard time logging into YouTube. Well, go watch on X, and then we'll do the YouTube later. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. What are we gonna do? My guy Junior says it ain't working. Randy says he can't even post on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'm glad some of you guys at least have found it, and we appreciate it. Some way, somehow, let's spread the word. Let's get everybody else in here. Mike says YouTube is on his side, so glad that YouTube is on somebody's side. Yeah, I don't know. Big A. What's up, Big A? Big A's one of those guys that's been skeptical. I don't know about all that, Mike. Big A's one of the guys that's been skeptical. Big A's one of those people that, and I don't speak for you, Big A, but I think you've shared it here. You definitely have shared it in the spaces. But Big A's been one of those people that, he was heavy on he only cares about the casino. Now that he got his casino, he doesn't really care about the team. I would hope that you've come off of that a little bit. I think he knows what type of GM David Stearns is. I think he hired him for that reason. He wanted to build an entire organization, right? As he said yesterday, he's learned, He first said he's matured, but then backed off of that a little bit. Said I'm not really too mature. But he said I'm seasoned now. I'm seasoned. He knows more of what he doesn't know, and he's gonna trust his baseball people until he feels like he shouldn't trust them anymore. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't think now is the time to not trust them. Now we'll see how this plays out. I know in a lot of people's eyes, it's like, yo, this better work out right now. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean we have to win a World Series in 2026? Or does that mean we have a good season where we battle, or dare I say, win a damn division? That doesn't change for me. The goal is always win the World Series. Within that goal, you have other goals. And one of those goals should be to win a damn division. I don't give a damn what nobody says. I don't care how many wildcard teams get in. I always say it. When you shoot low and you miss, you may not like where you land. Did we like where we landed last year? When many was saying, all we got to do is make a wild card. How did that work out? We ain't make diddly squat. So the goal for me, always, shoot for the damn division. And then if you fall short of that, you land your ass in a wild card. Hopefully. But he felt it. He felt it just like we did to let those guys go. He felt the exact anxiety. But at the end of the day, he trusted his guy that he hired. And we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. Play the next clip, Kweisi. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but I'll figure it out soon. And these are all coming courtesy of SNY's X
afterwards to Bo.
page.
What was that process like? Those 12, 16 hours.
Well, the way I describe it is, when the news came down in Kyle, literally the body was still warm, and we were getting calls from agents. Okay, literally 5 minutes later, I was like, the body's still warm here. Okay, so I actually went to bed annoyed. Right, like it's like, we didn't get him. It was like, and then the agent for Bo had called us right after, and discussion started. You never know how they're going to go, and that they move really quickly.
You hear that? And the reason why I wanted to play this, and again, is along the theme that even I may have played into. And it was a little bit of, and for me, it was a little bit different. But are the Mets a destination? And some people will argue whether New York is a destination within itself, right? Do people really want to come play in New York? For me, it's more like, are we there yet? Are we at the level where if we're going head to head with the Dodgers, a player might choose us? If we're going ahead with the Yankees, a player might choose us. And I know Soto did. But are we really that destination where guys feel like, you know what? We want to be a part of what's going on with the New York Mets. Well, guess what? There may be trepidation about New York. There may be even trepidation about what's going on and what's being built here. Although I think maybe the fans don't totally respect David Stearns. I think Major League Baseball does. I think players do. I think coaches do. I think the league respects what David Stearns has accomplished. But the most important thing is that all of these players know that they can come to the New York Mets and get paid. And as long as that ability is there, then we're a destination. Now, it's not necessarily how I want to really be a destination, right? Just because, we're going to go to the New York Mets because we're going to get paid there. But I'll take advantage of that as we become that place, as we become that organization that people want to be a part of, as we get more on that level with the LA Dodgers. But you heard it there. Let's play that again, Kweisi. Because now that I know what it is, I should have wrote these down. Listen to what happened when we missed out on Kyle Tucker. Yes, the groundwork was there. The groundwork was there. But they called us immediately. Bichette's
afterwards.
agent called the Mets immediately, like, yo, what's good? Play it.
What was that process like? Those 12, 16 hours?
Well, the way I describe it is, when the news came down in Kyle, literally the body was still warm and we were getting calls from agents. Okay, literally 5 minutes later, I was like, the body's still warm here. Okay, so I actually went to bed annoyed, right? Like it's like, we didn't get him. It was like, and then but the agent for Bo had called us, right after, and discussion started. You never know how they're going to go, and they move really quickly.
So there it is. Once again, he was annoyed, went to bed annoyed, had a tough time going to bed. But then that subsided real quick when Bichette's people called and they were able to hash out a deal. That's encouraging, ladies and gentlemen. That's encouraging. Because don't forget what was going on at the time. The media had Bo Bichette sealed, packed, and delivered to Philadelphia. It was a done deal. It was a done deal. And I forget all the connections they were making, and then Don Mattingly got hired, and I forget what else. And they're going to offer him 6 years, whatever the hell it was. And I know. We gave him an outrageously high AAV. But still, he chose us. He could have went with the longer deal, more security, the team that's more established. Some would like to argue, although if you pay attention to what's going on with Bryce Harper and all of that, and how the Castellanos thing went down, you want to talk about clubhouse issues and stuff with the Mets, and I could care less. Let that clubhouse burn. Better for us, I guess, right? Better for us. But then, ladies and gentlemen, quote that really excited me. I think this is the next one. If it's not, Kweisi, find this one. But the one that really excited me is when he talked about really wanting to win. And how many times have I said we're approaching the 40th anniversary and I'm going to enjoy all of the celebrations and whatever that's attached to that. At the same time, when we talked about number retirement for Carlos Beltran and all that, what did I say? All of that is cool. All of that is cute. All of that is fun. But there's no celebration that I want more than to win a damn World Series. Because 40 years has been too damn long. Play the clip where my man Cohen says exactly the same thing. We're going to celebrate 40 years, but that's too damn long. Uh-oh.
About not winning? Yeah, I'm annoyed. I'm absolutely annoyed. Every year that goes by, I get frustrated, and I'm really committed.
You think every year that goes by you get frustrated? I mean, I know you're older than me, but yeah,
I know how much
I'm right
the
there.
fans care. I know we're celebrating the 40th anniversary.
Take it back, Kweisi. When I start talking crap, pause.
And that's just too long. How annoyed are you?
Very annoyed.
About winning? Yeah, I'm annoyed. I'm absolutely annoyed. Every year that goes by, I get frustrated, and I'm really committed to this team, and I know how much the fans care. I know we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of 1986, and that's just too long. And there's a lot of great teams out there. No matter what you do, it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to win the World Series. But I just want to put myself in position every year in the playoffs where we have a chance with a really good team.
Listen, how can you not appreciate that? How can you not appreciate that? How can I have someone DMing me and asking me for what's my take on what Steve Cohen says? It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. I believe he's going to provide the resources and he's going to do whatever he feels it is to win, while at the same time following the direction of David Stearns. And that's how it should be. You want to be frustrated with David Stearns. But he's just telling you, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to do everything I can to try to win every single year. And every year that I don't win, I get more annoyed and more frustrated, just like that dope Hector from Blunt Thoughts. I just can't come out there and say the nonsense that Hector does. But I'm annoyed. That's what he's telling you. And if you don't believe, and this is even for me, not that I don't believe, but I've been a little worried. Like, yo, I know this guy got billions. I know he got billions. But the Dodgers got billions. I know he got money, but the Dodgers got money. And this is funny. Shout out to the homie Lynn, because I did a space yesterday on X. For those of you who don't know, you go on X and it's da-da-da-da talking. Oh, and we will be bringing the phone calls back soon. We're bringing it back soon. Today, no. This is real quick. This is a quick one tonight. But shout out to the homie Lynn, because we were doing a space, and this was coming out. All this stuff was coming out. I had just watched this right before I did the space yesterday in the morning. And I didn't realize that the person that asked this next question, a couple of questions. The person that asked this question, as well as another question that we'll get into in a second. I know you all, which is what you old guys probably want to talk about, but was Mike Puma, right? And if you pay attention to the way he answers this, as well as the other one we're going to get to in a second, and if we remember back to the post about, what did he say, the usual suspects that don't understand when talking about the payroll, right? When there was a question about how much money the Mets were going to spend and were they going to get to that 340 that they spent last year. And there was a talk, they'll at least spend that, John Heyman said, and all of that, right? Remember that? But you remember who started that mess? Mike Puma, right? And listen, I got nothing against Mike Puma. I got nothing against none of those guys. I know some questions make some fans uncomfortable. I appreciate all of the questions. To me, it's more about how the person answering the questions handles it. And Steve Cohen did a great job. But let's listen to this when he talks about spending as much as the big bad Dodgers.
Any movement to name a team captain, or is it?
No, Quays, no. You don't have that one? I sent you that one, bro. You ain't listen to what I'm talking about. Let me see if I got it. My bad. It's not Quay's fault, guys. It's my fault. It's always my fault.
You guys pretty quickly pivoted afterwards to Bo. What was that process like?
No, that's not the one. That's not the one. What the hell is it? Here it goes. I got it. My bad. Let me share my screen instead. I apologize. This is what happens when you put a show together in 2 minutes, as opposed to the 4 minutes that we usually put it together. When we put it together in 4 minutes, we're a little bit more organized. When we put it together in 2 minutes, I screw up. You know what I'm saying? But that's Blunt Thoughts. That's the way it works. And that's why you like Blunt Thoughts. That's me right there? All right, this is the one quiz. My bad. Here we go.
The Dodgers had another big offseason. Do you feel
Yeah.
they've kind of widened the gap on everybody, or how do you look at that dynamic?
Well, I mean, listen, they're formidable, right? I mean, they have the ability to spend. So do I, by the way. And okay,
That's a direct shot at that article by Puma when he was talking about whether Mets going to spend and get to the $340 million. And that's Puma asking the question. That's Mike Puma asking the question. Check it. Let's bring that back.
The Dodgers had another big offseason. Do you feel
Yeah.
they've kind of widened the gap on everybody, or how do you look at that dynamic?
well, I mean, listen, they're formidable, right? I mean, they have the ability to spend. So do I, by the way. And okay, you know, they built a great team, but I think we've built a great team, and I think we're going to be really competitive this year, and the goal is to meet them somewhere along the way in the playoffs.
Ooh. If that doesn't fire you up, then I can't help you, man. I can't. Listen, and again, it's about the guys on the field, how he himself said. We're going to go out there, we're going to get the players. But at the end of the day, it's about those players going out there and getting the job done. And I've always subscribed to that. There's only so much the manager can do, and there's only so much the front office can do. And we can always debate, and we're always going to have our opinions if they did enough and they didn't do enough. Was the right move made? Was the right move not made? Did ownership offer enough years, offer enough money, whatever the hell case may be? At the end of the day, the players got to go out there and get the job done. And there's a lot of them not getting the job done. You have every right to. You have every right to. I'm not going to go that far yet. I appreciate the owner. I don't know him to love him. I appreciate him. I ain't going to call him King Cohen like my boy Sal does. What the heck, Sal? Oh, man, got to have another one of those soon. I ain't going to call him Uncle Steve and Thea Alex, although I might call her Thea Alex before I call him Uncle Steve. She's from the Heights. She's Latina, Puerto Rican, I'm Dominican. It works. But I appreciate this dude. I appreciate Steve Cohen and the resources that he has to provide and that he's willing to provide. I've always maintained that. Now, David Stearns still got to prove it to me. I'm with everyone on that. I'm not here telling you this is guaranteed. They all feel like they have a better team. I'm still like, you got to show me. You still got to show me you're a better team. But I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Benefit of the doubt. And then the next big statement he made. Was also to Mike Puma. And this one, there was definitely some zing behind him. Just watch. Kweisi, you got this. Just watch how he answers when he says there'll be no captain. And Puma's, really? Never. Did I stutter? That's all he needed to tell him. Did I stutter? Go ahead, Kweisi.
Any movement to name a team captain, or is that something you don't think is necessary?
As long as I'm owning the team, there will never be a team captain.
Really?
Okay, that was my decision. My view is the locker room is unique, you know, and let the locker room sort it out year in, year out. And so,
So you're not saying that there'll never be one? But
no, there'll never be a captain.
Oh, there'll never be a captain.
There'll never be a captain.
When did you make that decision?
I've felt that way all along.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
Is there any movement to name a team captain?
a couple of things with that, right? And the first thing going backwards is If you've always felt like that, then why is it that we're now just hearing it? You should have said this a long time ago, where people been losing their mind about this captaincy stuff. And to me, it was always much to do about nothing. I didn't feel like it was necessary. I didn't feel like it was definitely only one guy. You know? But if he felt this way all along, then he should have said something when all this conversation was going on. So I wonder, did you really feel about this all along, or did you just get frustrated about what was going on last season? More and more, without telling us, all of these guys keep telling us there was some nonsense going on in that clubhouse last year. Whether it was the captaincy crap, whether it was politics, whatever the hell it was, I don't want to speculate no more than I need to. But he killed this captaincy crap, and I appreciate it. Because like I said yesterday in the space, and then I'm glad that afterwards I went and I saw Mendy had spoken, and Mendy pretty much said the same thing. Leadership comes in many faces. We saw it in 2024. There was no bigger leader on the 24 team than Iglesias. Is Iglesias the captain? Was he the best player on the team? He was none of that. He was the best leader on the team. And it wasn't because, he's holding people accountable. It was just because his personality, what he bring, the song, the music, all of that helped to bring a vibe to the team that it needed at that time. JD, with his nonsense that I've said millions of times that used to drive me crazy when he talked about let's embrace sucking. Everybody thinks we suck. Let's embrace sucking. And I hated it, but it worked. It worked. And Lindor was a leader that year as well. And so was Nemo. Lindor called that meeting. But Steve Cohen is also right when he says leadership changes in the clubhouse and the dynamics in the clubhouse change every year. Because if you think back to his ownership, what did he do? He goes and brings in Scherzer. He brings in Canna, Bassett, all those guys, and they became part of the leadership. So there's been different leadership with this team. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Good leaders know which way to lead. Good leaders know how to lead together. It could be some bad cop, good cop element. They could be the guy that just brings everybody together. That's able to mesh all the cliques, even if it's for a couple of minutes a day. The guy that cracks that joke when it's not the appropriate time to crack a joke, but when then you realize after the fact that that was a perfectly cracked joke. Whatever the hell it may be. It's funny because I asked yesterday in the space, could there be such thing as too many leaders? But the answer is there could be if they don't respect each other's leadership. While at the same time, no, if they do, then it's perfectly fine. Everybody just find your lane. Everybody just find your lane. But the theme has been, since this spring training started and since Steve Cohen has spoken, excitement. He's excited. I've been excited. I'm excited to see what this brand of baseball that this team is going to play is going to be like. It's going to be a different brand of baseball. It's going to be guys putting the ball in play. It's going to be guys moving runners over. Making impactful outs. Hitting balls in the gap. That's exciting. I think we're gonna grow to like the brand of ball that this team is gonna play. I really do. Now again, they gotta go out there and do it. They have to go out there and do it. And to that, as we close in here and we wind it down, to that, something that's gonna be very important and something that we've asked of this organization, this team, for a long time, and it's to be proactive. Proactive instead of reactive. Proactive instead of reactive. Well, today we find out from Mendy that there's going to slow play a couple of guys. And we may not see them for the first week or so of spring training. Right? They're going to take it easy with some guys. And, you know, people right away open their eyes. Oh, my God. What's that? But we saw Brandon Nimble do it the last few years. And it worked for him. And it worked for him. So today we find out. Did I send you these Quays? I didn't? All right. My bad. So bring my joint up. Today we find out that a few guys, like I said, will be getting a little bit of a delayed start to their spring training. Let's listen in to Mendy here as he let it be known.
Players be on that sort of
Oh yeah,
slow-
we got a few of them. Albi's gonna be on a progression as well. We all know how hard he works, but I don't think we'll see him in games the first week. Jorge Polanco, same way. This is a guy that when we signed him, physicals, he had a surgery about a year and a half. Some of the things just, but he's gonna continue to get live at bats, and we'll put him on backfield action before we put him on a game. I think that's it for now. Oh, Brett Beatty is the other one. He felt something on the right hamstring about 2 weeks ago that we kind of, so he's gonna, especially like reps in the outfield, that's gonna take a little bit, but he's fine. But yeah, because he felt something on the hamstring, we are going to slow play.
So you have it, Alvy, Polanco, and Brett Beatty. Now I want to leave it right here, Quays, because I want to well, go ahead. My bad. I'll tell you when to bring it back. As I said a little while ago, they signed Mike Talkman yesterday, right? I wonder if that deal was made because of Brett Beatty, and like you said, we got to take it easy with him, especially to play in the outfield. It's early still, but is Talkman not only a backup in case Carson Bench doesn't win the job in spring training, but also a backup in case they can't use Brett Beatty out there for a little bit. Hamstrings can be tricky. But let me bring it back because this is where it really started. Because one name that we didn't hear there was one of the newcomers, another newcomer. A guy that could be very important if one, he could stay on the field and then reach back and find that 2023, or at least
about being
get
proactive
close
with
to it.
Robert. Do you maybe anticipate or expect that to extend into the regular season where maybe he's not playing every single day for you guys?
Well, he's our everyday center fielder, right? But you know, we will communicate with him. Schedule will dictate a lot of that too, and that's part of the relationship that we have to develop here. You know, the trust on the staff. You know, and getting to know the player. We'll see. Our job is to put him in that position where we feel like he's good to go, and then we'll adjust accordingly.
So again, I don't know why anyone was wondering. We said he's gonna be our everyday center fielder. But we gotta take it easy. And I thought you said I didn't send you this to you, Quays. So this is the Quays that I like. The one that reads my mind and finds the right clips. Not the one that finds the bad clips. The one that finds the right. He expanded on that. Let me see. I don't know if I send you this or if you have this one. But he had another one talking about yeah, I don't think I sent you it. But there was another one when he's talking about if you have it, I don't know if you have it. And he's talking about Robert and how the trainers checked him and they've already been working on him and strengthening the lower half where most of his injuries come from. But if you can find it, if not, no big deal. And then he also, I think I might have sent you the one where he talked about Beatty and how Beatty felt something a couple of weeks ago. So bring that one up.
What did Brett feel in his hamstring? And I'm assuming since you said that he's mostly fine, it's pretty minor when you.
Yeah. I mean, he was going through his conditioning and his training at home, and while he was sprinting, he felt something, and he reported right away. So, like I said, he's in a good spot now. But when you lose, I think he took a few days without doing any running or anything like that. So went through the physicals fine. He's taking run balls. He's doing pretty much everything. But before we put him out there in the outfit, especially, um, we we got time here.
Somebody like
Now, one thing, proactive, right? So they're being proactive with these guys. And I get it. Alvi, Polanco, Robert have had injury history. Beatty, not so much injury history, but like we said, hamstrings could be a little, so you want to be careful with a hamstring. In the same Q&A, that was today, I believe, he talked about Lindor and again emphasized how they expect Lindor to be ready for opening day. And listen, I'm pushing for it too. I'm pushing for it as well. But why not be proactive with Lindor? And let's take our time. There's no need to rush anyone right now. I know they want to be their opening day. We want to see them opening day. But most importantly is to have them play most of the season and then be there at the end. Hopefully. And the whole thing about them being the opening day, right? Everybody wants to be lined up on that foul line and see their name called and tip their cap and families out there in the stands and all that. But you know which one is better? The one at the World Series. That lineup is that much better. So if maybe missing opening day for Lindor, not saying that he should, not saying that I'm pushing for it. I'm just saying. And I also believe he can come back by opening day. This is a guy that has played through many things. He played through the handmade thing for a couple of years. So I get it. I really do. But sometimes you got to protect these guys from themselves. You know? But we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out. Um, let's see. I think that was it, right, Quays? Brandon says, I honestly wouldn't mind Lindor taking his time back and just let Bruhan start the year at shortstop and hopefully Lindor back by May. I don't know if May, but if it takes him a week or two, because listen, the strength is going to take a while, ladies and gentlemen. To get the full strength, the power, and all that, it's going to take a little while. So let's not go crazy about that, you know? Let's not go crazy about that. But he will be ready to play close to opening day. If not that day, maybe a couple of days, maybe a week later. I don't think it'll take till May. If it does, that's fine. Who's gonna play shortstop? Maybe it is Bruhan. Maybe it is Mauricio, who we keep seeing get a lot of reps at shortstop. so far in camp. I don't know. But that's what spring training is for right now. To figure that out. But I think we'll be fine as far as that's concerned. I'm gonna take what do you even call it? Lindor's track record for what it is. And this is a guy that's gonna go out there and post. We know that. Man, I hope this is just me. But if this is how this is looking right now, we definitely got to get off because I don't know what the hell is going on. But it's looking very fuzzy. And I hope it doesn't sound as bad as it looks. In any case, just wanted to give my blunt thoughts on Steve Cohen because it just stood out to me and got me a little excited more than I was. But I'm always excited at this time. And then I'll get bored. Then I'll get bored with spring training. But luckily, this year, like we said, we got WBC. And that'll break up the monotony of spring training and the boredom that comes with that. But right now, really, it's all we got. The NBA's on their stupid long All-Star break. Like, I don't understand why these guys ain't playing already today. Like, come on. What the hell are we doing? Or at least tomorrow. But I don't think they'll play till Thursday. At least the Knicks don't. What the hell are we doing here? Can't even watch hockey if you wanted to watch that. Because they're on the Olympics and I'm sorry. I don't do the Olympics. I don't do the Olympics. But what I do is go to bed early. So I can be out in these streets early. So on that note, I want to thank all of you guys for joining me and gals. Thank everybody for joining me once again, man. Once again, like we said last time, we've gotten over 600 subscribers. So thank you to each and every one of you, man. Make sure you keep sharing this channel. Share this episode here. And let the people know. Let the people know that every now and then you have a dope that gets on. And, you know, whatever it is, man. Whatever you want to tell them, I'm okay with it, man. Just bring the people here. Oh, boy. On that note, you already know what it is, man. No matter what the hell is going on. No matter what the hell is going on. It's always, let's go Mets, baby. You already know. Peace. Do your thing, Kweisi.
Click full of animals and we made ourselves with minimal. Fuck you, no subliminals. Putting in this work, nigga. That's why they feelings hurt, nigga. Swear we need a hearse cause we rep our shites to the dirt, nigga. If I'm in the club,